Today, Mia and Leslie, on the talks about diversification strategies in the Philippines, one name would surely ring a bell to most people. And this is no other than Mr. Manny B. Pangilinan. His career started in 1981 when he founded First Pacific, wherein he served as the managing director until 1999, and as managing director and chief executive officer until 2003. Within the First Pacific Group, he holds the position of President Commissioner of PT Indofood, the largest food company in Indonesia. He was named chairman of several other companies, including Philippine Long Distance Telephone Company or PLDT, Maynilad Water Services Incorporated, Metro Pacific Tollways Corporation, Medical Doctors Incorporated, Metro Pacific Investments Corporation, Lanco Pacific Corporation, Filipino Telephone Corporation, Smart Communications Incorporated, and Manila Metro Trail Transit System. We have the honor to have an interview with Mr. Franc Cacas, Manny Pangilinan's junior spokesperson, to tell us about MVP's diversification strategy. Thank you very much, Mr. Cacas, for this opportunity.
My pleasure.
Can you give us an overview on the various positions of Manny P. Pangilinan?
Well, yes, of course, definitely. MVP has its major investments in 9 different sectors. So the most popular among these are his investments in the telecommunications sector. So we have the Philippine Long Distance Company, Smart Communications, Sun Cellular, of course, and also we also have PLDT Global. Now he also has numerous investments and shares in various utility sectors. So we have Meralco, Maynila Water Services. In the healthcare sector, he has also Asian Hospital and Medical Center, Cardinal Santos Medical Center, Makati Med Center, Davao Doctors Hospital, River Med Center Hospital, and Our Lady of Lourdes Hospital. Going to the media and broadcasting sector, we see investments in Signal TV, The Inquirer, Philippine Star, and TV5. Now he also has investments in the mining sector, particularly the Philex Mining Corporation. For investments in tollways, he has Manila Pacific Investments and Manila Pacific Tollways. Finally, for business process outsourcing, he has SPI Global, iPlus, and EPL.
Okay, so let's begin with the telecommunications industry. So why did PLDT acquire Smart Communications and eventually Sun Cellular, as you mentioned?
That's an interesting question, a little over a decade ago, when landline was still the dominant medium for telecommunications in the country, PLDT enjoyed a strong leadership in the market, capturing majority of the sales and revenues, which seemed to be like a monopoly of the sector. However, once mobile handsets have been introduced in the sector, the demand for such commodity and the services that come with it began to rise exponentially, creating a huge competition for PLDT. And as a response to this trend, of course, and the shift in the market, in March 2000, PLDT acquired Smart Communications in all-stock transaction. Smart Communications at that time was currently the market leader in the cellular business. And combined with PLDT's existing fixed line business, the investment resulted to revenue-generating enhancements as well as cost efficiencies for the PLDT. You know what, Chinna? A few years back, we have seen the intense competition between Smart Communications and its closest rival, Globe Telecom, in terms of market share. And as a strategic move to combat this, in 2011, PLDT acquired Digitel, particularly Sun Cellular. Now, this acquisition gained the PLDT Group additional 16% of the market share, of course, in the telecommunications sector.
Why did PLDT acquire Meralco?
That's a good question. Well, Chinna, unlike the acquisition of Smart Communications and Digital, the acquisition for the majority of shares for Meralco is not really that directly related to our mainframe strategy. For example, we have Beacon, a joint venture between Metro Pacific and PLDT. This company was created to hold the shares in Meralco, and our bossing, MVP, is banking on this sector to post promising growth alongside the economy's anticipated.
Let's talk about also the PLX mining acquisition. I believe that there has been some conflicts within within MVP and
Yeah.
within
Yeah.
its stakeholders. So can you expand on this, because I see that MVP is still eager,
Yeah.
to pursue this kind of investment, even the complications and implications of this kind of partnership.
The reason why MVP acquired this mining corporation, similar to Meralco, is that he sees huge potential for growth in this mining industry, specifically here in the Philippines. And that there's a fact that there remains largely undeveloped mineral deposits in the country, thus a huge opportunities, lots of opportunities left unexplored, of course, by a lot of private sectors. So First Pacific has chosen Philex to be the key company in this entry in this particular sector because Philex's reputation in the industry as a responsible and profitable operator is really that high.
Now let's go to the media and broadcasting sector. I think MVP has plans for this when he started to penetrate this sector. Can you elaborate on this one?
In line with the MVP group of companies strategy of evolving from a traditional telecommunications company into a multimedia service company, it entered the media and broadcasting sector. And you're correct about that. Now, one of the main reasons why we have entered this particular sector is to support channel that would aid in delivering content to our customer base, of course. Currently, we have investments in TV5, the Inquirer, and the Philippines. Well, Chinna, I'm sure you've heard from the news that we're trying to acquire GMA, a certain percentage of their share, of course. However, unfortunately, this did not push through since we did not arrive at a mutually accepted terms after a lot of talks with them. And yes, somehow we may say that this is lost opportunity in our side as it remains an option left unexplored. But the termination of the acquisition initiative is not expected to adversely impact the PLDT company as a whole. And of course, our strategy of evolving from a traditional telecommunications company into a multimedia company. And after all, the company has other channels by which it could perform the functions that GMA is currently doing and visualizing, and we're trying to come up with a lot of strategies that would support our acquisition and our current investments.
Business analysts, competitors, students, and even the public in general have various opinions on MVP's moves, as we have tackled a while ago. So how does MVP respond to this?
You know what, Chinna? I must admit, a lot of people are really very skeptic about the moves of our boss, Manny B. Pangilinan. They say that just because he has the money, right amount of money, is that he acquires aggressively and does so just for the sake of buying things. But what they don't realize that there is a plan and a reason behind all of these acquisitions.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Once the effects manifest, since there are a lot of pain births right now, the people will see that all of these acquisitions are interrelated and well thought out strategies. Now let's take ABC5 for instance. Now ABC5, we just renamed it to TV5. So essentially both are just the same. So acquiring TV5 adds content and will eventually complement our acquisition strategy, and of course particularly the convergence strategy that we're looking at. Now, the plan is to converge media with telecom. Sounds interesting. Another line of strategy is with Meralco. And this company, on the other hand, is a defensive move against upcoming competition. Plus, a very complementing investment with Metro Pacific Investments' goal to be the largest industrial conglomerate.
As a final word to our viewers, what can you say about Mr. Manny B. Pangilinan being awarded about many or various awards such as the 10 Outstanding Young Men in the Philippines? And more recently, the Global Filipino Executive of the Year is awarded in the Asia CEO Awards in 2010, and the Corporate Executive Officer of the Year and Best Executive for the Philippines at the 2007 and 2008 Best Managed Companies, and Corporate Governance polls conducted by Asia Money and Best Executive Philippines at the 2011 Asia Money Best Managed Companies Awards. This is quite a lot.
Well, you know, Chinna, it is common knowledge that MVP's group of listed entities contribute significant portions to the country's total economic production and output. As you know, it is also the biggest in terms of market capitalization, almost reaching 1 trillion pesos, surpassing the dominance previously cornered by dominant families, as we all know. But beyond all of these acquisitions and ownerships, if you get to know Mr. Manny V. Pangilinan more closely, you will realize and that he is more than much a bigger man than all of his possessions. You know what I mean, right? Now, he started with very humble beginnings, being born to a family that's not well off. So, as a student, he was always the quiet one. And as a side effect of that, insecurities of his simple background, he sees his life as a series of decision making. In his own words, if you look at the spectrum of my life, there are events that have happened that have changed the course of my life, for better or for worse. Now, certain of those events are negative, and certain of those events are also positive. So it's like the hand of God just moving us, placing the direction, but you are given the options. You are here to choose what you want to do. There are events that will happen in your life that will sometimes force you to make a decision, and sometimes you have no choice at all. As a final takeaway for our viewers, of course, especially those who want to become aspiring entrepreneurs, or those people who really want to create a change for our country, one word of advice for you guys: never be afraid to take risks. Now, one more thing, always be focused on the things which you believe will improve the lives of our countrymen, especially those of the poor. Don't be afraid to fail in the future. There is learning when you fail. As they say, failures are the fertilizers for success. Keep on exploring possibilities and opportunities. You'll find that there's more to this world than what's known to you right now.
This is Chinna Estonina reporting for TMC. Back to you, Leslie and Mia.